It is senior day at Spartan Athletic Park, a doubleheader. The Spartans of Aurora University taking on the Muskies of Lakeland University in Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference play. The men's game will start about 30 minutes after the conclusion of our women's game, which is coming up. We will tell you about the teams in a little more detail coming up, but there are 6 seniors on this AU women's soccer team who will be honored pregame, and we are happy to introduce them to you in a matter of moments. So as our athletic communications graduate assistant, John Ray, begins the pregame announcements, it is time to direct our attention to midfield as the AU Athletic Department and the women's soccer program recognize the senior soccer student athletes of 2025, and they are filing on to the field.
First up, number 8, Chelsea Johnson.
So our first senior today is Chelsea Johnson. And Chelsea is a forward from Sydney, Australia. She's accompanied by AU head coach Courtney Neighbor and graduate assistant coach Emma Delgado. Chelsea is in the AU +1 program for her MBA with a sport management track. After graduation, she plans to possibly continue her playing career or find a job in the U.S. in sports journalism or sport communications. Chelsea Johnson. Next is the goalkeeper, number 1, Melina Kane from Navan, Ontario. She is accompanied by her parents, Suzanne and Brian, and partner Shelby. Melina is an exercise science major, and after graduation, she plans to attend Teachers College and become a physical education teacher. Melina Kane. Our third senior today is number 4, Danny Machado Salazar, midfielder from Puerto de Sagunta, Spain. She is accompanied by her American dad, Mike, girlfriend, Emma, and dog, Bentley. Danny is an exercise science major, and after graduation, Danny plans to do a year of OPT and pursue her master's. Danny Machado Salazar. And she's followed by Anna Corneliuson, a defender from nearby Oswego. She's accompanied by her parents, Eddie and Tammy, brother Jesse, and sister Grace. Anna is an elementary education major, and as you might imagine, after graduation, she plans on becoming an elementary school teacher.
Number 16, Kira Carr.
Kira Carr is a defender from Murrieta, California, accompanied by her parents, Chris and Maureen, brother Aiden, and sister Bridget. Kira is a nursing major. After graduation, Kira plans on becoming a pediatric ICU nurse at a level 1 trauma center. She also plans to return to school and get her master's to become a nurse practitioner. Kira Carr. And our final senior on this Saturday afternoon is McKenna Coons, a defender from Sandy, Utah, who's accompanied today by her parents, Christy and James, brother Cooper, and boyfriend Anthony. McKenna is a double major in criminal justice and exercise science. After graduation, she plans to enroll in grad school for athletic training. So once again, the women's soccer senior student athletes. I'm not going to attempt to say that multiple times quickly, but here they are. Chelsea Johnson, Melina Kane, Danny Machado Salazar, Anna Cornelison, Kira Carr, and McKenna Coons.
Please join us to recognize this group of young women.
A group that's been instrumental in establishing and maintaining the high standard of success both on and off the soccer field for Aurora University. We wish them all of the best in their futures. So they will assemble for a group photo at midfield and then get back to warming up because we are less than 15 minutes from kickoff between Aurora and Lakeland in the first of our twin bill today at Spartan Stadium. This is Aurora University women's soccer. Almost time for women's soccer. Aurora and Lakeland in a doubleheader today. The men's game will follow about 30 minutes after this one, and it is senior day for a AU men's program as well. Let's meet our starting lineups today, which will be introduced to the fans in attendance in a little bit, but it's Heather Robert in year 4 with the Muskies. She'll line up a 4-2-3-1 and have the freshman Addie Reimer in net today. It'll be her 5th start, looking for her first career win. She made 11 stops on Wednesday in a 4-0 loss to Wisconsin Lutheran. A busy day in a matchup that did not go well for the Muskies. In the back row, the left back is the junior from Glendale Heights, Emily Guy. And the right back is a senior from Ridgeway, Wisconsin, Allison Solberg-Keeler. Center backs today are the junior from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, Karis Yeager, and the sophomore out of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Sharmis Tucker. In the midfield, the holding midfielders are a freshman from Kiel, Wisconsin, Ava Niels, and a junior from Muskegon, Michigan, Michaela Belasco. And the attacking midfielder is Malaya Sperber, a sophomore from Cedar Grove, Wisconsin, joined on either side of her by the junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Leah Armstrong, and the sophomore out of New Holstein, Wisconsin, Alyssa Voigt. The striker today is a junior from Newark, California, Inez Rodriguez. So again in the back row, it's Guy and Solberg-Keeler on the backs. The center backs are Yeager and Tucker. In the midfield, Niels and Belasco. Ahead of them, it's Armstrong, Sperber, and Voigt. And up top is Rodriguez. Lakeland 0-8-1. They've lost all 5 of their NAC contests, so they are looking for their first point this afternoon. On the senior day, Courtney Neighbor has a 4-3-3 drawn up for the Spartans of Aurora University. The outside backs are one of the seniors, Danny Machado Salazar, and for that matter, it's another of the seniors, Anna Cornelison. Machado Salazar from Puerto de Sagunta, Spain, and Cornelison from Oswego, Illinois. The center backs today from St. Charles, Maura Sikorsky, and from Elgin, Daniela Martinez, a couple of local freshmen. In the midfield, it's a freshman from right down the road in Montgomery, Dalia Fuentes, the junior from right here in Aurora, Amara Olivas, and from West Chicago, the sophomore Natalie Fernandez. The outside forwards today are the senior from Murrieta, California, Kira Carr, and the senior from Sandy, Utah, McKenna Coons. The center forward is the senior from Sydney, Australia, Chelsea Johnson, and Melina Kane, the senior netminder, will be the goalkeeper today from Navan, Ottawa, Ontario. It'll be her 6th start. She's looking for her first win of the season. She did play the second half against MSOE a week ago. So they're being announced here to the crowd at Spartan Stadium. Aurora coming off their first win of the season. They're now 1-9 with a 1-4-0 mark in conference play. Chelsea Johnson scored in the 11th minute on an assist from Taylor Collins. That gave Aurora its first lead of the season. They would concede a little bit later in the half, but then Mara Sikorsky on a free kick in the 86th minute delivered the game winner, and that put Aurora into the win column. Layla Connor made 4 stops in the victory. Shots were even at 8 apiece, and Aurora came up with the final one to go in the net. As for Lakeland, they conceded in the 3rd minute on Wednesday and were outshot 18-1 in that loss to Wisconsin Lutheran. Haven't scored in 6 straight games, 544-plus minutes without a goal. Kickoff coming up. We'll pause for the national anthem. And with that, soccer. Moments away here at Spartan Stadium. Once again, we're so glad that you're with us on this Saturday afternoon. And it is a scorcher. Record high heat expected today. It's 86 degrees here in Montgomery as we speak. It's going to be hot on the turf. Have not heard if they are planning a water break at the halfway point, but it did happen a few Saturdays ago on a cooler day. So certainly, if not planned, could see it happening anyway. We'll keep you posted. There is a wind at least. There's a breeze. It's a warm breeze. It's a southern breeze right now, so it's blowing out from behind the net on the right of the field as we see it, and it is blowing directly into the face of the goalkeeper on the left of your screen. Aurora is wearing white today. Aurora on the front in blue. The numbers are in blue. Their uniforms have blue horizontal pinstripes. Lakeland is in navy today with white numbers, white letters in trim, and it reads Lakeland on their uniform. So Aurora will move left to right here in this first half. Into the wind, Lakeland will move right to left with the wind at their back, and it's also worth noting that at this point in the day, the sun is directly behind what right now is Lakeland's goalkeeper, Addie Reimer, who is in a salmon-colored kit. So that's what Melina Kane, who's in a teal kit, is going to be dealing with in this first half. There are clouds in the sky. They're not going to help us very much today, and we'll see how the players handle the unseasonably warm conditions here on this Saturday afternoon. In for Bill Downing today, my name is Sean Fry. Riley DeConey is working the camera. Xavier Zuckli is here as well. He'll be handling camera operations in our second matchup today. Aurora looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since 2023. See if they can get the job done here against Lakeland as they try to keep the Muskies out of the win column. It has been a difficult stretch for the Muskies as Aurora takes possession. Lakeland hasn't been able to pick up a victory since October 27th of a year ago when they won on the road at Rockford. So it's a 10-match winless streak. 0-9-1 in that period. Opening minute of play here, and Cornelison takes it to the near side of the field in the middle third. Feeds the ball to Fernandez, who will drop it off to Olivas, and now Fuentes will send it back and allow Martinez to run onto it just off of the logo at midfield. Martinez takes it along the football numbers, and a good feed. A cross goes to the back post for Coons, and a very good look as Kira Carr was able to get out in the space on the far wing, but the cross was too forward of Coons. Might have been a tap-in if the cross had been on the line, but it did not quite have enough. Aurora gets right back to work. Here's Olivas looking for Fuentes. She plays it to the top of the arc. Fuentes gets it back just outside the 18 and tries to break down a Lakeland defender. Olivas to her left, once again to the arc. Pass was looking for Fernandez and gets to her on a carom, and Aurora resets at midfield. Well, it's been all Aurora here for the first 2 minutes. Lakeland has barely touched the ball. They'll get to it here and play it into their own bench. Muskies voted to finish 11th of 13 teams in the NAC this year. They do have 6 starters back, including their leading scorer, Malaya Sperber. And their all-conference goalkeeper, Ingrid Steinbach, who is not starting in net for this one. Aurora trying to roll across through into the 18. It was defended by Lakeland. Ball is loose in the midfield, and now the Muskies trying to work their way out of trouble. Belasco turns, fires, and that one ends up over toward the Lakeland coaching staff. Not quite 3 minutes in, no score. And Lakeland really hasn't had a chance for a quality touch. Aurora has been the aggressor so far in this one. Olivas picks it up and was trying to leave it for Carr on the far side, turned it over. Aurora trying to win the ball back. Carr goes after it, and once again, Lakeland, no choice but to simply clear under pressure. So Courtney Neighbor, I'm sure, will be very happy about the pursuit from her team so far. Aurora regrouping in the midfield as Sikorsky settles it, takes it across the logo, and leaves it off for Olivas. Aurora wanted to play more through the middle this year and possess the ball in the middle third. It's been a focus for Courtney Neighbor this season, and able to pick up that first win on Wednesday night against Concordia Chicago, and it seemed like they were building to that. They played a competitive brand of soccer and just hadn't been able to come up with enough finishes in their opportunities. Sperber taking it outside, was able to break down a defender off the dribble, and now goes to battle with Sikorsky. Sikorsky sealed her off, and it goes out, but it does go off of Sikorsky last for a corner. So going over for it is Belasco. Lakeland doesn't generate a ton of corners, a little more than one per game. They get one here early in the 5th minute. Belasco floats it in, just didn't find anyone on the other end. Now Voigt trying to settle it on the end line, unable to do so, and it'll be a goal kick. No score here, 5 minutes in. Now Lakeland trying to apply some pressure and a steal in the middle third. It's back to Sperber. It was dispossessed by Corneliuson. Olivas came deep into the midfield to retrieve the ball, and now Aurora tries to get out on the counter, and it's Carr on the far side with room to run. A missed dribble there allowed Sharmis Tucker to step up on her, but Carr stays with it. Finds Fuentes, and it'll be run onto by Fernandez, who lost the ball. But it will roll back out for Corneliuson, who sends a through ball down the line for Coons, who was able to keep it in play. Line drive cross, found Johnson, but came up on her ankle and ends up out of play by a substantial amount. It stayed on the property, which was good news. So they'll go and retrieve that from behind the railing. 7th minute. No score. So the goal kick comes in. There's a whistle. First time that's been needed today. Referee today is Christoph Bajorek. Aurora trying to dribble out of their own end. Justin O'Brien, Samuel Paisley, and Brad Lapoudre are the other referees today. We thank them in advance for their efforts on what surely is not going to be a pleasant afternoon out on the turf. A warm one, as we mentioned here in Montgomery. Armstrong playing it up the near sideline, defended by Corneliuson. Olivas getting to it at midfield for Aurora. And out wide to Coons. Coons looking for some room to operate, wearing the captain's armband. Looks for Johnson, who will take it out wide and run out of space. Be a throw in for Lakeland. Rather, a throw in for Aurora was touched by Lakeland off of Johnson's foot. So it's thrown into Olivas. Cornelison to it. Fernandez comes out to get it. And a very deep through ball, and it's on the money. But running out of space was Machado Salazar, who got a good run into the 18 and was looking for some help on the other end. Her cross did not have much on it. It comes outside for a throw. And Johnson will take it there. Lays it off to Carr, running onto it. And out wide on the near side for Coons. Plays it through. That's Carr again. Stopping on the edge of the penalty area. Turned it over, but then immediately cleared by Guy. And Aurora will throw it back in. No shots. Just the single corner from Lakeland, but for the most part, Aurora's been playing down here on the near side. Or rather on the right side of the screen, I should say. Martinez with it. She lays it off. That's Machado Salazar. And up the far side. Aurora looking for a chance. Here's Machado Salazar. And then a cross comes through and is sealed off by Reimer on the far post. And actually, that was Fernandez who was running through. He stays out on the far side as Olivas picks it back up for Aurora. Plays it through for Fernandez. She's into the 6 and shoots. Reimer makes the stop. It comes right back to her on a carom. And the Lakeland freshman has to come up with a stop in the 10th minute of this one. No score. But Aurora gets the match's first shot. And a quality one on a really good setup by Aurora. That sprung Fernandez as she looks for her first career goal. A substitution at this next side out. Meanwhile, Aurora collects. Cornelison playing it through, and Coons is going to run onto that in the 18. Aurora with numbers, looking for Carr up top, but it was defended. It came back to Coons, who got a left-footed shot off and put it into the side of the net. Ellie Kruger, the freshman from North Dakota, had just swapped in for Aurora. The Spartans applying a lot of pressure here in this first half so far. Not quite, but almost 11 minutes in. And it has been nearly all Aurora. Now Sikorsky retreating here and looking for assistance. Cornelison in that right back position. Not a lot of weight on that pass, and Fuentes did a nice job of winning the ball back for Aurora. Now it's Martinez looking for a long through ball to Johnson, who stayed with the play. And Lakeland will just chip it out to center. Sikorsky settles it as she stares at an oncoming Inez Rodriguez and steps around her. Forward in the middle third for Johnson. And now Carr looking to play outside for Fernandez. It's taken away and played back to center by Lakeland. The Muskies just really can't generate any kind of offense right now. Aurora's been on the ball for nearly all of it at this point. Aurora really attacking the back row of Lakeland and has been able to find a few seams. They've done well moving the ball in the midfield to open up lanes. Olivas tries to play it through again and finds Coons on the near side. She squares up. Her cross was blocked. Watching it and sees it roll out for a corner. So Sikorsky's going to run on here. And we'll try to volley one in. Olivas is over with her, but just looks on. Sikorsky with the arm up. The right-footed cross comes in the back post. It's headed and stopped by Reimer, but followed up. And was it Carr who was there for the finish? It was Carr on her senior day. Her first of the season and third of her career. And it's 1-0 Spartans. It'll be an unassisted goal. The first touch was a header, and Reimer made actually an outstanding stop, but Carr was right there on the doorstep and tapped it home. And in the 13th minute, Carr is on the board. So is Aurora. (1-0) in the first half. What has been dominated by Aurora and now is showing it on the scoreboard. Martinez still with it, playing it toward the center of the field. Aurora still on the ball here as it comes back. The cross was late getting in. Ball is still loose, and now Machado Salazar is on it. De Fuentes. I think it might have been Fuentes who was on the end of the header attempt just prior to Carr cleaning up that final touch. Right now the assist is going to Chelsea Johnson. So officially it's Carr from Johnson. We are 15 minutes in. Here's a substitution for Lakeland, which will be their first. And that is Ingrid Steinbach. We've seen play very well in goal for Lakeland. She's going right out into the forward position. Well, she can clearly do a little bit of everything for this Lakeland team. Here is Sperber running onto it. So Lakeland has its first possession in a while. Armstrong steps around Carr. Able to find Steinbach. Now Sperber again, who steps around Machado Salazar, and then actually a rather irresponsible shot there from far out. Not a lot on it. Hooks well wide of the goal. And I think that illustrates a bit of pressing right now from Lakeland, who has not been on the ball much, hasn't had a lot of room to operate. And not a particularly good look that time. So here is Kruger. He gives it away in the midfield. A collision. And Lakeland's going to win the ball. Aurora playing it through, and it's Johnson, who is upended by Tucker. It's going to be a free kick, and Tucker shown the yellow card immediately. And being waved over by the referee, and it's a red card. Lakeland is going to be down a player for the rest of the day. Oh, a massive decision by the referee. And Sharmis Tucker is done. Well, the referee in his assessment, it would appear, decided that Chelsea Johnson had a clear path to the goal and was fouled. A little hard to tell from this angle if Johnson had the step or not, but the referee felt that she did. And now Sikorsky, about 25 yards out, shooting and had a little too much on it. Clearly the range to connect from that distance, as we saw a few days ago. This is going to make things difficult for Lakeland now, down a player. They have just the one shot attempt from far outside. Any comeback really is going to have to go through Malaya Sperber, who has 2 of Lakeland's 3 goals on the season. They were in back-to-back games in the season's opening week. Led the team in goals a year ago. Actually scored twice in her Lakeland debut, and certainly has led to a lot of excitement. But has hardly had the ball at all. Kruger took down Solberg Keeler, and Lakeland will take possession. Carr the goal off the set piece in the 13th minute. Right now the difference for Aurora, and now Lakeland playing with only 10 after the red card to Sharmis Tucker in the 17th minute. Free kick from Lakeland doesn't find play. Aurora will take over. So it looks like what I thought was a shot attempt earlier was judged as a cross attempt. Coons gets behind the defense, one-on-one with Reimer, and puts it off the post. Has her hands on her head. She can't believe it. An inch farther to the left, and it's in. As Aurora got off on the break, she gets another try and doesn't miss. A chance for redemption, and Coons makes no mistake. And it's 2-0 Aurora.
Spartan goal scored by senior number 28, Martina Coons. Assisted by number 27, Ellie Kruger. Coons from
Ellie Kruger able to find her. After Aurora stayed on it, went right back to the ball. And Coons in position with the clinical finish past the diving Addie Reimer. A lesson in resilience from McKenna Coons. Her first of the year. Had 5 goals as a sophomore and 3 last season. Aurora has struggled at times this season to find the net. They've had no such trouble here this afternoon, in Lakeland continuing to struggle. And reloading here through the midfield. Running onto it is Kruger on the far side. There's a lot of space out there. The cross looking for Machado Salazar, but Reimer sealed it off. They're less than ideal circumstances for Lakeland, of course, being forced now to play the final 72-plus minutes with only 10. That has opened up the field a little bit, but Aurora's pressure has been relentless, and it already seems to have worn Lakeland down. They have only 3 goals all year. And now we'll need at least that many to win. Here is Guy coming up from the left back spot. Curls a through ball that was just out of the reach of Steinbach. Aurora did well to stay with that, take it away. And a good touch to the outside as Kruger's on the ball again. Looking to dribble around a Lakeland defender, and Fuentes will gather. Now here's Carr, who has dropped into the midfield. She looks and plays it out wide for Machado Salazar. Steps around Guy into the penalty area, looking for Johnson. That was well defended. It was Yeager who stepped in and took it away, but Aurora maintains possession. It's out wide for Carr again, who looks and was looking, I believe, for Johnson in the middle of the field, and it clearly was not the strike that Carr was looking for as it goes well wide. And a goal kick coming up. But first, a stoppage for water under the circumstances. It's been all Aurora so far. They have all 7 shots this afternoon, and they lead 2-0. This is Aurora University women's soccer. (2-0), Aurora in front. We are in the 22nd minute. Goals for Kira Carr and McKenna Coons, their first of the season. In both instances are the difference. And Lakeland saw Sharmis Tucker take a red card in the 17th minute, so they've been playing with 10 for the last 6+. And that's going to make things very difficult for Lakeland, who have already had quite a bit of difficulty scoring and now need to come up with at least 2 to get a result. Down a player. Aurora in a very good spot. They have pressured the whole match. Through ball goes off of, I believe, Guy and rolls out for a corner, and Sikorsky will tee another up. Again, Aurora earlier on a set piece found Johnson for a header that Addie Reimer really made a spectacular stop on. But Carr was there to clean up the rebound, and that opened the scoring in this one. Once again, Olivas is out just on the line, but does not appear to be involved in the play. Sikorsky walks it off. Hand in the air again. Goes to the back post again. Johnson got a touch to it. It's rolling around, and falling on it was Reimer. And she'll take it out here and survey her options. Looked like it dropped right at the foot of Johnson. And there wasn't anything else to do with it as it found its way into the freshman's arms. But Aurora takes it back in the midfield. Machado Salazar trying to play it to the middle. That's taken away by Armstrong. Rodriguez drops it off. A nice move by Guy to get away from Machado Salazar, and then turns it over, trying the same thing again. Machado Salazar, Guy did well to stay on the play and got a piece of Machado Salazar's attempted cross. So Guy from nearby Glendale Heights, credit to her there. You're down 2-0 and down a player. Would have been easy to just give up on the play there, but stayed with it and forced the corner, which will be the third of the day for the Spartans. Couple of substitutions. Shreya Hairston has checked in, and looks like Julie Lopez has entered for Aurora as well. Earlier, Chelsea Fuentes had entered. So Aurora with a few substitutions on now. Under 21 minutes to play in the first half. Sikorsky's corner comes in. It finds Johnson. Her header goes straight into the air and then is cleared out of danger by Lakeland, but Aurora stays on it. And Sikorsky comes back to get it. Out wide, just outside the penalty area for Hairston, whose cross is defended, and Lakeland does well to retain possession. That is Sperber, who's now looking for space. She gets away from Hairston, but can't get away from Corneliuson. It will be a throw for Lakeland. Lakeland has to try to get their sophomore forward going. A long through ball was defended and comes to Steinbach. Now high through the middle of the field. A big bounce as Martinez tries to settle it and finds Kane. We'll play it out for Sikorsky, and she'll look to begin the buildup. 26th minute here at Spartan Stadium. Aurora leading Lakeland 2-0. It's been a lot of Aurora and not very much of the Muskies so far in this one. Hairston out wide in the right back position. Was looking for Fuentes, who turned it over. Sperber runs onto the ball in her defending third. Armstrong then plays it over the Aurora defense, but too strong, and Kane comes out to the football 30-yard line. And Aurora comes right back the other way. So Lakeland noticing that Aurora had the back line forward, trying to spring Steinbach, but unable to do so. Kane's already standing at the 20-yard line, so with Aurora, with their offense fully in gear right now, pressing to get a few more, and so Kane is up the field as well. Another clear to midfield. Aurora will have a throw-in coming up. It's been lopsided. There's no way around it. I think Aurora putting together one of its most impressive performances of the season. And there's still nearly an hour of soccer left here on this Saturday afternoon for their game. Got about 2.5 hours left before we're all said and done here at Spartan Stadium of actual game time soccer. I have to say game time soccer because it's probably not going to be done here for another 4 hours in total. Lopez out on the far side. He's dispossessed by Guy, and Aurora will have a very deep throw-in. 18 minutes to play in the first half. Martinez. A very ambitious attempt by Kruger for Aurora. Goes wide. Now, if you're Lakeland, that's exactly the type of shot that you want to force Aurora into. And when the Spartans were struggling to score earlier this season, that was where the shots were coming from. They're having a hard time getting into the dangerous areas on the field. Those have been open for business today. Aurora's done a really nice job breaking down Lakeland, but a turnover right at midfield. Steinbach takes it and then gives the ball right back. She stays with it, gets tripped up by Martinez. There's no whistle. Referee saying they just got tangled up going for the ball. Fortunate break perhaps for Aurora. And Martinez rolls it out to Corneliusen on the near side. She plays it forward, and Hairston will run onto this. She gets to it just in front of the touchline. Low cross through. It found Kruger on the end of it, and it rolled up on her shin. And Lakeland will roll it out for a throw. It looked like Kruger might be able to simply tap it in, but one final bounce and ended up simply spinning up into the air. There's Taylor Collins. She swaps in and replaces Corneliusen in the 30th minute of play. 2-0 Aurora. A cross into the box. Hops through to Johnson, who shoots on the second bounce and sails it over the crossbar. Johnson able to turn the corner into space, and then the volley did not have the target. And Reimer will step it off for the goal kick. Collins will have it. On the near side of the field. Down along the line for Hairston. Her cross. Johnson tried the volley but was off balance. And it rolls wide. These are some confident takes by Aurora right now. They're connecting with crosses. Another goal kick for Lakeland. That's jumped and stolen by Coons. And gets it right back out wide from Johnson. Low cross, did not have a lot on it. And once again, Lakeland with time just clears it out for an Aurora throw. Scoreless streak for Lakeland, now more than 575 minutes. Into space off the dribble. Johnson in the 18, stops. Looking. Aurora patient. Lopez stopped up just by the penalty spot. Now it's to Hairston. She shoots and just misses. A confident strike by the freshman from California. And just a little too much spin. She was looking for the back post and missed. Another goal kick, 13 and a half remaining. Just barely got to Sperber, who rolls it out to the near side and looks to break down Hairston. Sperber turns it over. Fuentes now looking for Lopez, but the through ball was out of her reach. And Yeager under pressure spins it out for an Aurora throw. Chelsea Fuentes. Back for Martinez. It's on the foot of Dahlia Fuentes. She steps to the right side. She tries a long shot that is off of Yeager and then immediately crossed toward the cage by Aurora and swallowed up by Reimer. Reimer was a 2-time state champion at Plymouth High School, not real far from Lakeland's campus. Has been under duress here today, has 5 stops. And again, really one jaw-dropping save, actually, to be completely honest, on the set piece. And credit to Aurora for staying with it and putting home the rebound. But if you're a goalkeeper or a soccer fan, you might be thinking, well, the goalkeeper deserved a little bit better than that fate. Such is the game sometimes. A few more substitutions here for Aurora. Through ball for Hairston did not have enough weight on it. And Lakeland will play it back through the middle. Looked like Ariana Hernandez was one of the subs for Aurora at the last change. A through ball down the far side, and Coons runs onto it. She will get to it in front of the touchline. Looking, a nice feed for Sydney Thompson, who chipped it wide. Thompson was the other Aurora sub. Sophia Pagan and Esther Cafaro came in a moment ago for Lakeland. And then previously, Brianna Love, Elizabeth Brown had come into the match. 10:30 to play in the first half. 2-0 Aurora. Lakeland playing with 10 after a red card 17 minutes in. Aurora has all 12 shots. There's a collision, Lopez and Guy, and I think it's going to be Guy picking up the foul. It's a frustrated Lakeland side right now. Sikorsky is about 31 yards out. Sikorsky certainly can connect from here. The question is if she will attempt a long-distance shot or look for a cross. She tries the cross and I think was looking for Thompson, who was a bit behind it. And the set piece doesn't work out. We're in the 36th minute. Reimer booting it away for the Muskies. Came to Sperber, but a long touch gives it back to Aurora, who looked to press the advantage again. Collins hits the brakes, finds Lopez. She spins away to her left, shoots. Had it blocked by her own teammate. It comes out to Dahlia Fuentes. She goes to her right. She shoots, and it curls past the dive of Reimer and out for a goal kick. We'll see if Aurora looks to possess a little bit more in the attacking third. The shots have started coming from a little farther out here, but they have been available. If you're Lakeland down to 10 players, really all you can do is try to make it hard to get into the 18 and hope for the best. Muskies, with what for them today has been rare possession, and immediately turned over at midfield as Martinez gets to it. Collins settling. Kruger looking. Lopez gets to it. And Aurora continuing to build up. Long shot. that was Chelsea Fuentes. Might have thought Reimer was off the line a little bit and trying to curl one over her. It's a high punt. Collins gets ahead to Sperber looking, dribbles around Kruger. Was trying to spring Cafaro on the through ball but couldn't connect. Now Thompson looking to do the same for Fuentes, and that's disrupted. Out to Coons now, who's in the left back position. Been all over the field right now. Forward for Thompson. The step over, gets into the 18, rolls it out high. Hernandez looking, she lays it off to Thompson just forward of the freshman, who then crashes into Reimer. And that'll be a foul on Thompson. Everyone's okay. Good ball movement by Aurora, trying to get more intentionally tight to the goal. And a good thought by Hernandez. But Reimer read it. 6 stops for her in this first half, which there's 6:14 left. Hernandez gets to it. And it's Coons. Once again out wide for Thompson, who gathers. Just outside the penalty area. To Hernandez again. A good look for the freshman Ruby Peck, just into the game for Aurora. Coons is on it again. To Collins, who runs onto it 25 yards from the goal. Out wide, there is Oliviana Mignacci. He's trying a tight cross through the 6 that Reimer took away. Mignacci, the sophomore out of Sycamore, Illinois, into the match. Her second appearance for Aurora. It's coming in from Clark University in Iowa. Five minutes before halftime, and Aurora with a commanding 2-0 lead and with all 14 shots in the match. Here's Collins coming down from the right back spot. Looks for Lopez. She pivots. Finds Mignacci. A long touch, and that allows Armstrong to break it up. Sperber looking for room. She turns it over. Peck at center back with the takeaway, and now out for Coons. Sikorsky has moved into the midfield and plays it wide for Hernandez. Pass here jumped and stolen by Elizabeth Brown. And Aurora, Coons specifically, wins the ball back. Dribbles out to the middle of the field and shoots. And hops in on 3 bounces to Reimer. Coons looking for a little more on that from 30 yards out. Nothing happening, and an easy pickup for the freshman netminder. And the punt had a lot on it. It will take a large Lakeland bounce, to borrow the football parlance, and all the way down in on Aurora's goalkeeper. Aurora building back up again. Chelsea Fuentes through the midfield. A give and go. Mignacci able to keep possession for Aurora, back to Collins. Fuentes finds Thompson, and she was offside. Lakeland with a lot of work to do, and with one fewer player with which to do it for the rest of this one. It has been all Aurora. The match facts, I would have to presume, are going to be heavily tilted in Aurora's favor from a possession standpoint. Several high bounces down the field. Ruby Peck's going to run out of time. It should be a goal kick for Aurora. And it is. Crystal Brooks checks in. 42nd minute. A little more than a couple to go before halftime. Brooks onto the ball for her first touch today. Now into the final 2 minutes before the break. Mignaci looking for Fuentes. And now Sikorsky. Looking to step around Sperber and does. She's still on the ball. Long distance shot from Dalia Fuentes. Blocked and comes out to Collins. 90 seconds before halftime. Collins into the middle of the field. Out wide for Sikorsky. She comes back in between the hash marks. Chelsea Fuentes looking for Thompson. Her back to the net. And out wide for Coons. Coons takes a look. She bursts into the 18 and shoots. Reimer had the angle and knocks it down. And a burst of speed from the senior, looking for her second today. And we're into the final minute before halftime. 2-0 Aurora. And a dominant first half where they have all 16 shots. And some of the issue has been these goal kicks really have not been able to generate much of anything. And, of course, with the thinner ranks at this point for Lakeland, hard to get too many players forward, but they just haven't been on the mark. In fact, they've largely just been over everybody, and that, I'm sure, has not been aided by a strong wind at the back of Reimer, who hasn't yet made the adjustment. And to be honest, it is gusting enough that it might be near impossible to make that adjustment. 13 seconds. Aurora can try to get one more look off here. Collins has space. Waits. Stepping. Left-footed shot is blocked 15 yards from the net. And that's how we will go to halftime. All Aurora in the first of our doubleheader. AU women's soccer leading 2-0 at halftime over Lakeland. First half totals coming up. This is Aurora University women's soccer. Well, it has been a lot of Aurora and not much Lakeland in our first game so far today. 2-0 Spartans, with Aurora registering all 17 shots in the first half. In for Bill Downey today, I'm Sean Fry. Second half about to begin. Aurora on the right, moving to the left, wearing white uniforms. Lakeland and Navy going left to right. Aurora will have the wind at its back, and Lakeland will be going into the sun in this final 45 minutes. 13th minute goal for Kira Carr, and a 19th minute goal from McKenna Coons. Right now the difference. Actually, 20th minute goal, I apologize, for McKenna Coons. Assists for Chelsea Johnson and Ellie Kruger on the Carr and Coons goal, respectively. And possession lopsided, 76% for Aurora in that first half. Felt like it possibly could have been higher. Nevertheless, Aurora immediately takes possession and won a foul. Lakeland is playing with 10 players after Sharmis Tucker was shown the red card for a challenge in a vulnerable area. In fact, it appeared that Chelsea Johnson had a free path to the net, and the tackle from Tucker was judged to be taking away a clear scoring opportunity, and a red card went up, and that's the challenge that Lakeland's been facing. They were already down 1-0 at that point, conceded a second goal about 3 minutes later. And Aurora down, and they're attacking third right now. Coons on the right side, charging toward the 18. Low cross was defended well. Looked like Emily Guy was in there, and then a long shot. Mara Sikorsky able to get good leather, but Addie Reimer was waiting for it. Reimer now 10 stops. A punt to midfield is on the foot of Leah Armstrong. And now a through ball. Was looking for Ingrid Steinbach. It checked up. And Steinbach goes back to get it. Lakeland trying to get anything going here as Alyssa Voigt was forward and then turned over. Ellie Kruger sends it forward for Johnson and gets it back from Johnson and just missed. Was thinking about what she was going to do and tipped it out of bounds for a Lakeland throw. Martinez wins the ball in the midfield. And Aurora charging. Coons rolling it out wide. And no one's going to get to the end of that. Reimer will range over. 3 minutes into our second half. 48 in the books. The first of our doubleheader. The men's game coming up. It will be senior day as well. So a number of AU men's soccer players will be honored pregame as well. There's a foul on Aurora. Looking forward to that one. Aurora coming off of a win over Concordia Chicago on the road on Wednesday. Lakeland had just played a scoreless draw in men's soccer. And Lakeland hasn't qualified for the NAC tournament in a little while. They'll be desperately looking for some points on the road, some kind of result, as they're right now outside of the conference tournament picture in men's soccer. Lakeland so far has lost all 5 of their NAC matchups in women's play. And looking like they're going to be going 0-6 if they can't generate anything. And so far, all 18 shots have been Aurora. The entire match, it feels, has been played in Aurora's end. A chance here brewing. Kruger out wide for Hairston, who stops. Back to Kruger at the top of the 18. Steps to her left. Gets down toward the 6, and it rolls in on Reimer, who has to dive to keep it out of her own net. So Kruger battling to get near the Lakeland cage. Wind really impacting that punt here. And it's going to go out for an Aurora throw. And Reimer had some difficulty with the wind at her back connecting, and now you can see that it's just about impossible to do much of anything into the wind. That's not going to help Lakeland's cause. Olivas ends up on the turf and wins the ball as she battles Sperber. Now to Kruger, who gets into space in the midfield. She takes a look, moves to her right, and sends it out wide. Carr tried to chip it through for Johnson. It wasn't able to get to the end of that, and Reimer will walk it out. Lakeland briefly with possession. Aurora wins it right back. And here's Julie Lopez weaving through traffic. Out wide to Carr again. She surveys. Low cross and not on the mark. Carr started the season as a center back. And here getting into the middle part of the schedule is forward on the pitch. Scored her 4th career goal earlier today on her senior day. McKenna Coons scored her 10th career goal also on her senior day. And that's what you want, right? When you're honoring the seniors, you want them to come through and put something on the scoreboard. Could not draw it up much better for Aurora. Coons is going to win the ball for Aurora in the midfield. And out to Olivas. Aurora trying to get forward once again. Carr finds Johnson out wide. She's just outside the 18. Was looking for Kruger in the middle of the penalty area. They weren't on the same page. But then Lakeland just rolls it out where Hairston's going to run onto it. And now Carr sends it wide. Coons looking to break down the Lakeland back row. Speeds around it. Into the 18. Centers for Johnson. Great play by Ava Niels to jump in and disrupt it as Johnson was ready to load. And instead it goes out for an Aurora throw. A freshman who won a state title at Kiel High School breaking up what could easily have resulted in a 3rd Aurora goal today. It stays 2-0. We're 8 minutes into the second half. Oh, goodness. Amara Olivas from distance hits the post. Reimer got a hand to it. It caromed off the back post and stayed out. Nearly 3-0. It would have been a spectacular goal. Olivas back on the ball in the midfield. And Coons taking a look again. It's out wide for Carr. And once again, trying to find someone in front of the Lakeland net, and it plunges into the side of it instead. We're in the 54th minute. No doubt about it. A very impressive performance for Aurora so far, and the attack continuing. Out wide for Hairston, and she'll run out of space. Our broadcast today presented in part by BSN Sports. Wear what the Spartans wear. Visit athletics.aurora.edu/getaugear. gear. By Chick-fil-A in Oswego, eat more chicken. By Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. by Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus, and by Raising Cane's in Oswego, One Love. Scoring chance for Aurora. Shot goes wide, and a goal kick coming up for Lakeland. 35-plus minutes to go. 2-0 Aurora. The Spartans have all 21 shots today. Let's take a look. Some other events going on as we speak. Football is in action in Plymouth. Aurora playing Lakeland nearly exclusively today. It's like everything is against Lakeland. Both soccer teams, women's volleyball and football, and they're at halftime with Aurora leading 28-14. Aurora got on the board with a Liam Mickle pass to Lucius Dones with a little less than 5 minutes to play in the first. And TJ Ramsey with a 12-yard run for a touchdown to give Aurora a 14-7 lead. Aurora would make it 21-7 on a 15-yard pass from Mickle to Ethan Svoboda. And after Lakeland battled back to get within a touchdown again, Mickle found Svoboda a second time from 33 yards out. So 28-14 at halftime. Aurora leading Lakeland in football. Carr, the cross, looking for Kruger, and Reimer dives out to take it away. Aurora women's golf is at the NAC Women's Golf Championships up at St. Andrews Golf Course in West Chicago, not Scotland. If you were thinking, wow, St. Andrews, they crossed the pond for this. Well, they are in West Chicago on a gorgeous golf course, by the way. And all teams are in play right now, so we'll have to see where things are at. Aurora, right now through 12 holes, is in third. Benedictine, right now 8 shots clear of the lead, but are only 6 holes into their play today. So it's very early, a little too early for any kind of results, but it's a 3-day tournament up there at St. Andrews. And then women's volleyball is in action as we speak. They just got underway and are leading 18-10 in the first set. So a nice start for Aurora. They've spread around the offense and are enjoying the lead. So everywhere Aurora is playing Lakeland right now, they are in front. Coming up on the 1 hour mark of play today, shots are 23-0 in favor of Aurora. Addie Reimer, a career high of 19 saves against Edgewood earlier this season, is very much in danger. She has 14 with more than a half hour to go. Lakeland just looking for something, anything at this point. And Aurora is all over the Muskies. Kruger's way into the midfield. Wins the ball back for Aurora. And a reset as Sikorsky coming down the far side. Comes back to the middle of the field. Olivas is on it and dispossessed. Sikorsky stays with it. Dalia Fuentes takes control. And Lopez will send it out to Machado Salazar. Up the wing for Coons, is going to run it down. And will settle for the corner as she rips across off of a Lakeland defender. This will be the 4th Aurora corner. This time Olivas is nowhere near the cross as Sikorsky plays it in. Lopez got to it and flicks it out into the 18 on the near side for Johnson. She tries to send it back to the middle of the field and it's cleared to safety. Machado Salazar backpedaling as she receives the pass, and it's out wide to Sikorsky again. Still on the ball after a collision. Was looking for Coons and missed her for a goal kick. Next up on the agenda for Aurora at Dominican and Marion next week, Wednesday and Friday. A 3-game road trip in all through the next week and a half. And for Lakeland, it's not going to get any easier as they take on Illinois Tech on Wednesday on the road in Chicago. Illinois Tech has been off to a very nice start this season. They are 8-0-1 coming into play today. And they are no longer in the USC top 25. They were briefly ranked, currently still receiving votes. We're voted as the NAC favorite coming in. That's who Lakeland will have to deal with next. There's plenty of action around the NAC. One matchup, nearly final, but the result is known. We'll hold that. Here's Coons on the break, shoots, and has her second tonight. The second 2-goal game of McKenna Coons' career. It comes in the 62nd minute and makes it 3-0. Chelsea Johnson's going to have her second assist of senior day. And the rout continues. 3-0 Spartans. Well, as I was saying, the result known over in Mequon. Edgewood leading Concordia, Wisconsin 3-0. They're in the final minute there. There's a whistle here, and looks like Sophia Pagan is going to have a conversation with the referee. Anyway, a hat trick for Greta Blau for Edgewood as they pick up the win. They move to 3-2-0 in NAC play. They have 9 points, which, pending other results, has them in a tie for 4th right now. Eagles now 7-4-1 on the season. Concordia, Wisconsin falls to 3-2-0. They'd been off to a nice start, but will fall into a tie with Edgewood as that one has just gone final. Illinois Tech and Marion are in action in Chicago. It is senior day for the Scarlet Hawks, who have celebrated by scoring and scoring plenty. They put up 4 goals in the opening half hour, and that is the score in the 57th minute, 4-0. As Kayla Thomas, Grace Yeager, Taylor Hernandez, and Gabriella Baltus all with goals for Illinois Tech. So Marion with some work to do in the final 35 minutes there. Rockford and Wisconsin Lutheran also in action as we speak as Aurora attacks again for the hat trick. Coons lays it off for Kruger, who backheels it into the net. What a goal by Ellie Kruger. Coons' pass, delicate. Kruger had to be very clever and got just enough of it to roll it off the near post and into the goal. That's a fantastic first career goal for the freshman from Jamestown, North Dakota. And not even 90 seconds after a previous goal. Coons has her 3rd point, or I guess let me take that back, her 5th point today with 2 goals and now an assist. And now Kruger with the goal here in the 63rd minute has made it 4-0. That's about as good as it gets. Aurora going for more. Some lopsided results around the NAC today. I'm about to tell you about another one as it goes out for a throw. All Wisconsin Lutheran 5-0 at Rockford right now. Ava Zarling has a couple of goals. Tegan O'Neill, Emma Adema, and Brielle Weezy have also tallied for the Warriors. So 4-0, Aurora with all 25 shots today. There's still 26-plus minutes left. The speed of McKenna Coons has really been a weapon today for Aurora, as she has gone right at the Lakeland back row on a number of occasions, and the result has been Aurora filling up the net. Should be coming up on the mid-period water break in the record high heat on this first Saturday of October. A high chip here towards Aurora's defending third. Spartans trying to win the ball back, and they do. Aurora in the midfield. I just saw the replay of Ellie Kruger's goal, and I feel like I somehow didn't do justice to it. That was a spectacular play. Thompson trying to play it through for Coons, who now looking for her first career hat trick. See if Aurora can get there. It's not looking like they're going to need any more offense today. Lakeland playing with 10. Haven't generated a shot in the 65 minutes we've already played today. Turnover at midfield. Fuentes is on it. And rolled through. Machado Salazar will get there and just could not keep it in play. Tried everything to keep that in. I think what you'll be happy to see if you're Courtney Neighbor is that Aurora has not let off the gas here. They have overwhelmed Lakeland today. The Muskies have very much been overmatched in this one, but you would not know that by how Aurora has played. They have been able to get their depth and reserves into the action a little bit more, a little bit earlier today, and that has not resulted in a drop-off of effort or pressure in this one. Aurora has been locked in from the start, and it continues here 67 minutes into the game. Still have not conceded a shot. It's almost the challenge at this point for Aurora. Can you go the whole match and not give your goalkeeper anything to do all day? Thompson looking for Coons, who's moved into the center forward spot for a moment. Now we'll go back out wide. Certainly going to be a deflating result in what's been a string of them now for Lakeland. They have not scored now in more than 600 minutes. Trying to avoid being shut out for the 7th straight match. This is going to be out for an Aurora throw. It's not going to get any easier. And the stretch of losses here since they've gotten in the conference play have certainly been difficult. Losing all of their conference games so far by multiple goals, and 5 of the 6 by at least 4. They're down 4 here, 4-0 with 22 minutes left. This is Aurora University women's soccer. The final water break of this one has concluded. And it'll be back in play here on the Aurora throw. 4-0. We'll have more soccer after this one concludes. Looking like it's going to finish up right at about 3 o'clock. So men's soccer should start up a little more than a half hour, maybe 45 minutes from the end of this one. So we'll be close to on time for our match. We'll just get the players onto the field warming up. Aurora continues threatening. I've seen a few substitutions. One of those of note is that it appears McKenna Coons has come off on her senior day. She was one of 3 players, if you count Melina Kane, but 2 outfielders who had played the entire match. The other was Daniela Martinez, and she has now come off as well. So it'll be 2 goals and an assist today for McKenna Coons. Chelsea Johnson has gone off. She'll finish with 2 assists. Kira Carr has come off. She has a goal. And Ellie Kruger with a goal and an assist. Kruger has also come off at this point after scoring a very nifty first career goal. Corner kick coming for Aurora. A low cross finds Machado Salazar. A second attempt hops its way into Lopez, who wins the ball and did not get a lot on the shot as it trickles in on Reimer. 15 stops. That might be added to it. for the Lakeland goalkeeper. Not a lot on the boot. Chelsea Fuentes takes it away and sends it out wide and just out of the reach of Mignaci. '71st minute of play. 4-0 Aurora. Looking to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. And it'll go a long way, as right now Aurora, the outside of the NAC tournament picture, will get them to the halfway point of the conference slate. Aurora still in the ball here in the midfield. One final match tonight, by the way, is MSOE at Benedictine. That's a 5 o'clock start. And then the remaining matchup of the weekend is St. Norbert at Concordia, Chicago, tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Out for a goal kick with 18 minutes left. And so, with this result, for the moment, Aurora would move in to a tie for the final NAC tournament spot at the halfway point of the NAC schedule. Much too early to begin thinking about tiebreakers. But Aurora very much in that conference tournament mix. If you're Lakeland and having lost the first half of your conference games, it's going to require a series of results the rest of the way. It has been a difficult slate for Lakeland so far, as they faced nearly exclusively conference tournament hopefuls. And they still have a few other ahead, but have not taken advantage of contests against teams that were voted to be right around the tournament bubble. And we'll have to find a way to generate a little more offense. 3 goals through 10 fixtures is not going to be enough. Not enough points out there. Chano Salazar onto the ball on the far side. Goes through the legs of a defender. Walks outside the 6, shoots, and Reimer had the angle and took it away. Aurora continuing to attack. They have still not conceded a shot, 74 minutes in now. They have all 27. Reimer should be credited with a save here, which would roll her total to 16. And indeed it does, so she's now 3 off of her career high. 11 stops on Wednesday, and you do not want to be in a situation where you're piling up double-digit saves on a night-to-night basis. It's been difficult. She's made some nice stops today for Lakeland. Has not gotten near enough run support. Chano Salazar wins it outside for Ariana Hernandez. Finds Thompson, who spins off of a mark. Was looking for Crystal Brooks behind the back row. Thompson comes back onto the loose ball. Played it through for Brooks again and wasn't able to connect. Will be a lot to be happy about this Aurora coaching staff. And you look at their record, 1 win in 10 tries coming in, but 4 times this year they had lost 1-0. Were very much in games. Weren't able to come up with the equalizer. They have been in most of their contests this season. Played confidently in the midfield. And for all of their efforts, it has been a relief to be able to put the ball in the net a few times this week as they close in on winning both of their fixtures here. And again, Lakeland down a player very early, but they were in trouble even when the red card was taken, as Aurora had asserted themselves as the better team today. And the additional space has not made life any easier for the Muskies. A clearance here to midfield. Melina Kane less than 14 minutes away from a clean sheet in which she had nothing to do. Hasn't faced a shot, hasn't had to make a save, has been involved in the play at times, so we can't say that she hasn't been involved in the play, but hasn't had to get in front of anything, minus an errant pass or two to keep it from going into the net. And I'm sure if you ask her after the match, she's probably not going to be too upset about that. It's going to end up with a confident and dominant Aurora win, and it will still go into the book as a shutout. It will be Kane's first shutout of the year if Aurora can stay on this end of the field. Had a couple her first season in 2023 and then 3 more in 2024. Set piece cleared out by Lakeland. Again, we still have time here. Lakeland trying to muster any kind of offense. Aurora has been applying steady pressure. Or Lakeland, you're hoping to maybe catch Aurora coasting to the finish line, but that would need to happen first. There really hasn't been any of that here for Aurora as they continue to battle, as Machado Salazar does here, for every ball. And it looks like she's going to win a free kick here. They decide not to play the advantage for Aurora. It was not far outside of the penalty area as Amara Olivas comes over. Scored against MSOE, had 4 goals last season at Walbanzi, and has the range to tuck it in from here. She assesses. Under 11 minutes left. She'll go for it and plunges it into the side of the net. A few more changes here. The goal kick is stolen by Hernandez, who lays it off for Brooks. She goes back across the field to Olivas, who couldn't settle it off her chest. A really clever attack by Aurora that time, and a nice job by Crystal Brooks, who unselfishly played it out for Olivas. I think Brooks might have had a look at the net if she had settled it, but decided to get rid of it and put Aurora in a dangerous spot. Illinois Tech has added to its lead with 15 minutes left. They lead Marion 5-0 as Abby Cooley has now added for the Scarlet Hawks. And in Rockford, Wisconsin Lutheran has seen Morgan Bloom contribute to their total. It's now 6-0, Wisconsin Lutheran leading in Rockford. We'll check in on Aurora women's volleyball right now. They took the first set 25-16 against Lakeland and now lead the Muskies 19-16 in the second set. More on that in a moment. Olivas from 30 yards out on the free kick and just missed the near post. Caitlin Ruse with 6 kills leads Aurora right now in volleyball, and Isabella Kowalczyk has 5 for the Spartans. Trinity Nelson 18 assists at this point in the contest. In football, ball's out to midfield, and here's a chance for Lakeland as Guy has gotten out on the break. Corneliusen runs her down and body checks her over the touchline. Anna Corneliusen perhaps auditioning for the AU women's hockey team if Maddie Montgomery's watching. Well, they say you've got to finish your check, right? The free kick here for Inez Rodriguez, who tries to find someone, and ball's just outside the arc. Lakeland still with it, and now Olivas will win the ball and calmly roll it out into space for the Spartans, but Brianna Love not able to hold on there. Aurora 42-20 right now, their lead over Lakeland early in the third quarter. They got back on the field and after halftime and immediately started scoring. TJ Ramsey, 16 seconds into the second half, ran 28 yards for a touchdown. After Lakeland responded on their ensuing drive, Liam Mickle took Aurora right back down the field and found Lucia Stones for a 45-yard touchdown. So the Spartans with a 3-score lead. And football. Men's soccer coming up, as you know. Hope you'll stick around for that. The NAC Women's Golf Championships underway in West Chicago. Aurora now into the lead. They have a 3-shot lead over St. Norbert as they remain in the same general area of the course. The early lead individually is Yinan Liu of Marion, who is 3 over through 13 holes. There's a 1-shot lead currently over Emma Laundrie and Michelle Biggs, who are 4 over through 13 at this point. So we will not have a chance to update that again prior to the end of this one, as there's 6 minutes left, but gives you an idea of where they're at. Aurora has all 28 shots in women's soccer today. It's out for Carr. Here's a shot from Johnson. They both returned here for the final moments of the contest. Johnson had a shot blocked, I think, by her own teammate. This is out for a corner. This is Ruby Peck taking the corners as Mara Sikorsky has gone off and has not returned to this one. Into the top of the 18 where Chelsea Fuentes gets to it, finds Machado Salazar. Forward. And there was Taylor Collins deep from the right back position and launched it well over the crossbar. In the 85th minute, 4-0 Aurora. It appears that all of the seniors honored today are currently on the field as Courtney Neighbor gets them all out together. Of course, it's not their final game together, but a nice symbolic gesture to have them all on the field here to finish off a very confident senior day performance. The Aurora and Lakeland men's soccer teams looking on here. They're getting ready to take the pitch and begin warming up in a matter of moments. Aurora not letting up here. Addie Reimer has had to make 17 stops. Aurora has matched their goal total for the entire season coming in today's play. And that was after matching their goal total from all season in their previous game. And that is the kind of progression that you would like to see, because that would mean that Aurora would be scoring 8 against Marion on Wednesday, so they would certainly like to keep that one up. 3.5 minutes left. Corneliuson looking to get the ball deep, and will carry him off of Machado Salazar now for a throw. Aurora will be 2-9-0 overall, 2-4-0 in the league. And moving to 6 points, if the other results hold, again, we'll be in that tie for the final conference tournament spot at the midway point of the next schedule. Lakeland falls to 0-6 in the league, 0-9-1 overall. And we'll continue searching for answers. Heather Robert, their head coach, was on the first Lakeland team to finish with a winning record. It was a 4-year letter winner for the Muskies, and team did not give up. Had very difficult circumstances here. Played down a player for more than an hour today. Have never been able to solve Aurora's pressure today. Here's another steal as Chelsea Fuentes. Johnson tried laying it off for Ariana Hernandez. Aurora regrouping at midfield. Out wide for Coons. 2 goals today. Now Carr from distance, and just a bit wide. We are into the 89th minute. Well, the result has not seemed to be in doubt for a little while now. A very impressive performance by Aurora today, and they will have confidence going into their matchup with Marion and Dominican coming up this week. Dominican right there at the moment, just outside of the top spot. They were a point back coming into play today. Illinois Tech had a match in hand, which they've now won today to move clear of the field for the moment, barring MSOE's action later today against Benedictine. Olivas through traffic, walks out from the penalty area, now reverses field, turns the corner and shoots, and Reimer will fall to her right to make her 18th stop today. Into the final minute. keep Lakeland from registering a shot on this Saturday afternoon. As the ball's played forward one final time, Reimer will pick it up, and Aurora will shut out Lakeland today. 4-0, 2 goals and an assist for McKenna Coons. Kira Carr and Ellie Kruger also score. Kruger adds an assist. Chelsea Johnson has 2 assists. Melina Kane with the clean sheet. Did not face a shot. A very impressive effort by Aurora today. Addie Reimer, 18 stops, 1 off of her career high. Had a lot to do today as Aurora all over Lakeland from the kick. And a 4-0 victory. Next in action, as I mentioned, at Dominican on Wednesday. They will return here to Spartan Stadium on Wednesday, October 22nd for a 7 o'clock kickoff against Rockford. We hope we'll see you then. For Bill Downing, who's normally in this chair, and for Riley DeConey running the camera today, the entire AU Athletic Communications and Facilities team, my name is Sean Fry. 4-0 Aurora in women's soccer. Stick around. The men's game is coming up next in our men's and women's soccer doubleheader on this Saturday. Aurora and Lakeland coming up. This has been Aurora University Women's Soccer.